Hi everyone. Thanks Adi and Michael for giving me the stage. Um, I'm going to speak for the next 5 minutes about the possibility of Israel joining the ISO C++ standard committee. This talk is a direct continuation of Bryce's lightning talk at the Core C++ conference. His slides are online, and there's a lot of valuable information that I'm not going to talk about. So if you want to learn more, there's a link at the end, and it's also at
The website, yes.
okay.
The conference website.
So this idea came from Bryce, and also we had this nice conversation with Michael Wong when he visited here a few months ago. So my agenda is to speak about two parts: what we can do to join the committee, and ways we can participate until we have a member that is really join the committee. So the committee, like when we talk about the C++ committee, the technical name for it is WG21. That's the committee within ISO that is dedicated to C++, and they write the standard. They are part of a parent committee called SC22, which is dedicated to all programming languages that are standardized within ISO. And you'll see in a few minutes why this is important. There are currently 22 member countries in the parent committee in SC22, and I think WG21 has around 12 member countries right now. And underneath WG21, there's a whole range of smaller subcommittees dedicated to different subjects. I think there are around 150 people contributing, so it's a big structure. So why join the committee? I think the most important reason is to be able to be part of the C++ community, the world C++ community. Right now, everybody sitting here can't really contribute ideas or can't really give input to the standard. Like the entire Israeli C++ community doesn't have this way. If we had a member, he could be a channel for all the input coming from here. There are many people here that have enough experience to be able to contribute, but we can't really do it right now, at least not directly. So I think that's the most important reason to have a member. Another reason, in my opinion, like for me, keeping up with the trends, with the new development in the standard is really tough. I'm still trying to catch up with some changes in C++11. So that's a way to be at the cutting edge and keep up to date. And also, for some people it can feel good to be part of the development itself and actually make the decisions that we all have to live with, will concepts be part of the standard or not? So I think it can probably feel well to be in the room and contribute to this process. How can we join the committee? The main idea is that we need to create an Israeli copy of the basic structure of the committee. Right now, Israel doesn't have a representative, of course, in the C++ committee, but also we don't have a representative in SC22, in the parent committee. So we need to mirror this structure inside the Israeli standards body, which is Mechon Atkanim, the Israeli Standards Institute. Because only the national body can join, formally join the committee. So the minimum thing we need to have is a member that will join WG21 and SC22. So at the minimum, this can be one person. And of course, if more people want, it can be a larger structure, as complicated as we want. But that's the requirement. So you can, maybe you're rather wondering what are the requirements to be able to join. Do you need to pass exams, or do you need to be approved by, I don't know, the Knesset or something? So actually there's no requirement except you need to be able to attend the meetings. There are 3 yearly meetings of the committee. They are 1 week, but each meeting is 1 week. And the member needs to be able to attend most of the meetings. So usually this means someone that is working for a company that can spare him for these 3 weeks every year. The funding for this can be obtained from משרד הכלכלה, מינהל קשרי חוץ. They have a program where they fund up to 3 members, and the funding it depends on the size of the company. Smaller companies get more funding. I think it's up to 80%, if I remember correctly. So it's tailored for small companies to be able to participate in international standards. So in principle, the money can be subsidized. But that's the main requirement. You need to be able to attend the meetings and understand the proposals well enough to be able to vote. These are the requirements for WG21. Because there's no member in SC22, the parent committee, and this person also needs to attend a yearly meeting of the parent committee. This is where the actual voting really occurs. So SC22 is responsible for the standards for several several other languages like Fortran, I think, and Pascal, and so I'm not exactly sure this person is expected to actually vote on Fortran and approve the standards, or is this just a formality? But in principle, this is part of the responsibility.
Is Fortran still changing?
I have no idea.
All the time.
I don't know.
All the time.
This is a good question. I don't know. Maybe there's a standard every 10 years. I don't know how big an issue this is. Also, I think.
Is the parent committee also involved in developing standards for other more modern languages, or?
It has like 20 languages, but I think like most of them are not actively developed. I don't remember the others. I think Pascal and Fortran are the ones I recognize. But,
They're the more
C maybe, yes. But C is not standardized very frequently, I think.
What? C99, I think.
Yeah,
In 11, also. C11 is.
okay, but so that's 10 years.
18 also.
Yeah.
18 also. Okay, so this is a big question mark. Also, so the Israeli Standards Institute doesn't charge money for the privilege of being representative, unlike other standard organizations in the world that charge a lot of money. But I think they do have some bureaucratic requirements, like forms and stuff. I hear from people that know it that the bureaucratic part can be pretty difficult. But that's basically the responsibilities. So a related issue is forming a mirror committee, and this is where everybody else can participate. The mirror committee discusses the papers before each meeting and gathers input from, in principle, from all the Israeli community that the member is supposed to represent. So this is a way for everybody to be part of the process. Basically, this means reading the papers that are that will be discussed during the real meeting, and this is also a way to reduce the workload for the member. I think there are dozens of papers for each meeting, so the member can be expected.
Yeah, now it's in the hundreds.
280.
For each.
Yes, it's mailing.
Okay.
It's crazy.
So yeah, there's a lot of reading to do. So that's a way to share the load. And also having more people that are that understand the process a little bit gives a pool of people that can maybe attend meetings as observers and maybe go as replacements when the main representative is busy. So it's important to have some kind of mirror committee that can serve as a backup. And also I think it can be fun just to critique the papers before each meeting. So there are two other ways people can contribute to the standard without having a member. One of them is just to write papers. You don't have to be a member or you don't have to be from a country that is represented to present a paper at the meetings. So that's a way that everybody can participate right now. But you do have to attend the meeting in person to present your paper. But if someone has an idea for a change to the language, that's something that is possible. And also, some of the subcommittees, the special groups, can invite non-members to participate in the mailing list, the internal mailing list, and to like basically do everything except vote. So if you're interested in graphics or concurrency or one of the specific subjects, you can try to contact the members and like not all of the groups do it, but it is a way that you can participate right now. So that's it. I think we are trying to create a process where everybody that wants to be involved will be able to right now. If you have you or somebody you know wants to become a part of the committee itself, that would be great. And so I talk to Adi, because there are people that already did some of the research about this, and we can point you in the right direction. And until then, we're trying to do a pilot of a mirror committee, which is right now it would be just like a simulation because there's no member actually going. But want to experience reading the papers and critiquing them and trying to gather input and see what's involved. So right now I just put just an empty page on GitHub that just points to the list of the papers, and I think we'll have like a Google Doc where everybody can just pick a paper that is interesting to them and just write their name, and we'll just have I don't know, a meeting or something like this to discuss the results. You can take a look. There are pretty cool papers for the next meeting. Right now we're doing it as an experiment. Partly because the deadline, like the next meeting is in 2 weeks, so we'll just do like a sample of a few papers and just try to experiment and find a good process that we'll use for the Belfast meeting. That's it, I think, and there are a few links here. This is Bryce's presentation that has other information I didn't mention, and also the ISO CPP webpage is quite helpful. That's it, unless there are questions.
Who's interested in this effort? Okay, so feel free to get in touch with Michael or with me, and we're always happy to help coordinate. Great. We already have somebody. You already have. It's in the standard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we already have somebody who's got something into the standard library.
Yeah, and I just want to say you don't have to color. It's highly recommended if you have like a change proposal. But if you find someone like on the news groups that you know can champion it for you over there, then that also works.
Representatives from other countries, so we can contact them.
Yeah.
It's also an option.
Yeah, sure. if you can convince someone who is in the committee, yeah, sure, that's all.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.